my teachers always told my mom, you should only focus on academics, cut off all the fluff. For 5 hours, even when I slept, my mind kept replaying class problems, quiz ranks, the next syllabus, how to keep up. A lot of times I used to wake up crying from the pain. I feel like that wasn't my path at all. And that's when it hit me, I didn't want to be an engineer. This is why I decided to quit JEE. And इससे पहले कि मैं start करूं, let me say this loud and clear, I'm not glorifying quitting. This is just my story, my experiences, my observations, and the lessons I learned from it. So if you're someone preparing for JEE or confused about your path, maybe you'll find something in this video to reflect on. तो शुरू से शुरुआत करते हैं. I've done my early years of schooling from a small town in Uttarakhand called Kitcha. So it's near Rudrapur, Haldwani. It was a CBSE school, not a very big school. Although we had extracurricular opportunities, but हम students की life mostly around academics ही revolve करती थी. And if in such a school you're considered academically intelligent, you are always told that you have 3 options in life. Either you can become a doctor, engineer, or an IS officer. Not to boast, but I was always a 95 plus student throughout my school. But I was equally enthusiastic and participative in co-curriculars and extracurriculars, be it singing, dancing, anchoring, public speaking, or any other extracurricular that you can think about. Still, my teachers always told my mom, you should only focus on academics, cut off all the fluff. And after hearing that so often, I somewhat actually started believing it myself. Now, cut to 2025, we shifted to Ghaziabad for better education of mine and for better job opportunities for my mom. Ghaziabad से ही मैंने 9th and 10th किया. Then came the board exams and I went all in for it. कि बचपन से ही बोर्ड एग्जाम्स के बारे में बात सुनी थी कि बोर्ड एग्जाम्स डिफिकल्ट होते हैं. He scored that much, she scored that much, and the competition was all in the air. Intrinsically ही वही motivation था कि you have to score really well. So I was targeting for 95 plus and I scored 98%. And as soon as my teachers got to know that I scored 98%, they were like, now you have to prepare for JEE, NEET or UPSC. And in Ghaziabad, the school I was studying in, there was a whole hype about JEE. And I don't think so it's just limited to Ghaziabad or the school that I studied in. Across India, JEE is quite a prominent lane to choose. And honestly, it won't be an exaggeration to say that it wasn't just an exam, it was a badge of honor. So as soon as you enter 11th grade, you see these groups forming, एक ग्रुप JEE का, एक ग्रुप NEET aspirants का, एक ग्रुप UPSC aspirants का. And the teachers would also focus a lot on these groups. Teachers would have separate conversations with those groups. And if you're not a part of any of those groups, you feel left out. You feel like you are not academically doing well enough. And this is not to put out blame on anyone. This is just to put out a clear picture before you कि किस तरह का environment रहता है जिसमें student को choose करना पड़ता है what they want to prepare for, what career do they want to choose. हालांकि it's not even sure that you will become an engineer or you will become a doctor or you will become an IS officer, but still you have to choose. And between all of this hype, nobody actually cared enough to tell us how to know if you're really a fit for it. And no one even said it's okay to choose differently. So I finally decided that I want to prepare for JEE. Initially I had thought कि मैं घर से prepare करूँगा, कोई online batch join कर लूँगा and I'll study from home. But after a month of discussion, I decided, okay, let's do it properly. And I didn't really want to take a drop year, so I decided, okay, let's go all in for it. And we even had to borrow some money for the first year of fees. Oh, by the way, I joined Allen Coaching Institute. So I gave this Allen SAT exam, I think. It's the entrance exam that they have. Through that, I got around 70% scholarship on the tuition fees. But we even had to borrow that money in order to pay the fees for the first year. And then finally, my mom and I moved to Kota. I joined Allen. The first week went great, just as how you see in those, productivity vlogs, those JEE aspirant studying vlog, writing those notes very beautifully, staying organized, pasting those sticky notes on your wall, all of that. But by the second week, things just sped up. Classes, quizzes, PYQs, tests, everything came crashing at once. I barely slept for 4 to 5 hours. Even when I slept, my mind kept replaying class problems, quiz ranks, the next syllabus, how to keep up, all of that. And the first quiz happened, I did quite well. I ranked amongst the top 10 or 15 of the batch, but then the pressure to stay there was crushing. And then slowly my health started deteriorating, my calcium level dropped. I started getting muscle spams, जिसे हम लोग नस चढ़ना बोलते हैं. While coming back home from the coaching, riding the cycle, I used to get these spams. And even while sleeping, नस चढ़ जाती थी. A lot of times I used to wake up crying from the pain. This is not to scare you, this is just to prepare you and to tell you that even if you're staying there, please take proper care of yourself. I'd even get irritated and lash out at my mom very often and then immediately regret it. Apart from academics, there are a lot of other kind of difficulties that can also arise in Kota. Which is a story for another time, otherwise this video will go for so long. And the other day in class, I overheard a student sitting right behind me talking about US colleges, MIT and scholarships and all of that. And then I hopped into the conversation to know more about the college and the application process and everything, the knowledge that he had. And now when I think back, that small conversation changed everything. See, I'd heard of these opportunities before, these colleges, these scholarships and everything, but I never really paid attention. But after talking to him, I got curious and that curiosity pulled me in. And then there was one point when we actually considered maybe switching the decision. We weren't very sure. And for that, I discussed this with my mom. We had very long discussions, by the way. In the nights, we would just discuss about it, like, क्या हो सकता है करियर में, कहीं हम बाद में जाके रिग्रेट तो नहीं करेंगे, क्या होगा क्या नहीं होगा, because undoubtedly it was a very difficult decision. So after long discussions, me and my mom decided that I'll take 1 month time to research everything about the application process and to see whether or not I'll be able to fulfill all the requirements. And more than that, do I really want to do this? Do I want to go this lane? So I decided that I would be attending the classes, but I wouldn't be studying day and night for that. So after coming back from the classes, I would research about this process and what all do I need. And by the time I had researched fully about it, and I was quite sure in myself that, yeah, this is something I want to do, I told my mom, but we still did not completely quit JEE. I was still attending the classes, but then I also joined this online course for graphic designing by Lindsay Marsh. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her name correctly. Gradually, I started making my own portfolio for graphic designing, and then I bagged an internship at a small startup in Malaysia. And I also started doing these freelancing projects, be it related to graphic designing, script writing, voiceover, editing, all of that. I also zeroed in on what were my passions. So public speaking, I started exploring opportunities for debate and public speaking events, participated in them, and bagged a few awards. Similarly, I explored about MUNs and participated in those, got an outstanding delegate certificate for that. After 1.5 months of all of this, I finally decided that I want to quit JEE. So all in all, I was there for about 7-8 months in Kota. And while going through that journey, participating in those extracurriculars, working for that internship, learning from that course, doing those freelancing projects, after a long time, I really felt like me. I felt like I was reliving that younger version of me who used to love doing all of these things, who used to love exploring. I was growing, learning, and working for almost 20 hours a day, yet I wasn't exhausted. You know why? Because I was doing things that I genuinely loved. And that's when it hit me, I didn't want to be an engineer. See, I don't know if I would have prepared for the next 2 years for JEE, and if I had given that exam, whether or not I would have passed that exam, whether or not I would have gotten an IIT या फिर मुझे कोई NIT मिला होता, God knows. But now when I look back, I feel like that wasn't my path at all. And when I attended this IIT Kanpur debate and public speaking tournament, first of all, fortunately, my speech went really well and the audience applauded a lot for that. I even won the gold medal. But all of that aside, after the event was finished, some of the parents came to talk to my mom and me. And there was this one parent who came and asked me, "Aap kya banna chahte ho?" And then I told, "I'm right now preparing for JEE, but I'm also thinking of switching the path." And then they were like, "He's made for something beyond JEE." And exactly that. Sometimes others are able to see your potential, to see what you're made for quite better than you. You know why? Because you look at yourself in a very restricted manner, restricted by the expectations that are set upon you, restricted by the image that people have of you in their mind. So why did I quit JEE? Because I realized it wasn't quitting, it was choosing differently. JEE taught me discipline, hard work, and resilience, and I'll forever be grateful for that. I really admire people who prepare wholeheartedly for JEE, because it's not easy. It's really, really hard. It demands a lot of discipline, focus, sacrifice, but at the same time, I also have immense respect for people who choose what they want to do, for people who believe in themselves and take the decision of doing what they really want to do. So I want you to ask this to yourself. Am I doing this because I want to, or because everyone expects me to do that? See, if you want to become an engineer, you've always dreamt of it, you have that passion in you for that, just go all in for it. But if your ultimate goal is to be financially sound, to live a happy life, to live a healthy life, to secure the lives of your closed ones, to become successful, and if you think that JEE is the only path to go for that, just know that that is not true. The world has many different opportunities today. Wherever you see, you'll find people succeeding in almost every areas, and they're also earning good. And I personally believe that if you're really passionate about something, you really love doing that, you do not get exhausted very easily, and your mind works really creatively for that, then just believe fully in yourself, you will succeed. So do what makes you happy, see your own circumstances closely, but do not take a decision in haste. So with that, let's bring this video to an end. If you have any questions about anything, just drop them in the comments. I'd love to answer them. Or if you have your own story to share, you want to share your piece of advice, please go ahead, do that. It might just help a lot of people. And I personally love to read your comments and your stories. So it's Samrit signing off. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.